sports anime. So that's huge, and I feel that they're doing a great job. Manga Fox, Crunchyroll, Funimation is trying to keep things alive. They're really trying hard. I applaud them, doing a great job keeping jobs alive in America. And I feel if Fun Animation, Funimation goes down, like they stop doing what they're doing, I feel like this it's gonna have negative impacts like around in like various different industries. I mean, they're gonna have like, for example, bookstores. Bookstores don't sell books anymore. For those of you who don't get it, I'm sorry, but bookstores don't sell books. They sell magazines, subscriptions. They sell music now. Barnes and Nobles, which has a huge stake. Barnes and Nobles has a huge stake. A big name bookstore, a big brand name bookstore, has a huge stake. If manga stops and anime stops in America, they have a huge stake and a huge loss. Um, a lot of big name malls have like a lot to lose. Clothing stores, like, I'm sorry, but there are those otakus who are really into the whole like dressing like a ninja Naruto thing. I'm not gonna criticize them, but they're into it, and the clothing stores have a lot to lose because they're gonna lose like a decent like fraction of customers. And like in this kind of economic time, like you have to take your customers where you can get it. Um, yeah. Um, conventions a huge thing. Comic Con, a huge cartoon convention that's held every year. They bring up the biggest names in anime and in American cartoons in general. For those of you who weren't at the previous one, I remember they announced Avatar: The Legend of Korra, which is coming out in 2011, I believe, which is a big stake. I'm very excited to see how they do it. I really hope they don't mess up the series. I hope they actually show flashbacks of people, like people. I hope they show flashbacks of Aang, Toph, Katara, Zuko. Maybe even bring up Azula, or I feel like just to digress, just to say what I think they should do. The way they should explain the plot is Long Feng, for those of you who don't know, was the second in command for the Earth Kingdom during the series. They just after like kind of like the second season into like maybe the early third, I think in the end of the second season, they just kind of like didn't bring him up again. I feel like if they used him in a way, let's say Aang defeats the Fire Lord, okay, Long Fang reorganizes like a group of upstarts or rebellious people, the Dai Li, and with the help of Azula, which were allies at the end of the second season, sort of. I feel if they like round that up, that'd be great. I hear that they're not gonna Azula's gonna be alive, which if they don't bring up like if they don't bring at least one or two characters from the original, it's just not gonna make any sense to anyone. I mean, an 80-year-old like in the Avatar world is not unheard of. Like them dying at 80 would kind of make no sense to me. For example, Giri Pati, who was apparently over like 100 years old, like possibly like 120, 130. Like if he can live that long and not have any spiritual connection, no like bending abilities, I feel like if he can live that long and they can say if they kill everyone, then that makes no sense to me. Of natural causes, that make no sense to me. Um, Aang dying, I can probably maybe see that happening. He has lived for like almost 200 years now. But by the end of the second season, by the new season, which takes place 70 years after. So if you're counting in the 12 years he lived, the 100 years would bring him to 112, and 72 additional years. So that would bring him in about the neighborhood of 182. So that'd be almost 200 years. So yeah, so 200 years would make sense to me of life. That would make perfect sense to me. Okay. But still, Aang dying, I can see Katara probably maybe dying. Sokka, I feel Sokka. If they don't bring up like what happened afterwards, if they don't say like Sokka and Suki got married, Toph and some other name got married, Mei and Zuko. If they don't say those people didn't like settle down and actually have done, that like gets so many people angry. I feel that would make no sense to the series. I hope they don't just like I hope they don't like just make up stuff to try and like keep like one like maybe 5 episodes, or like don't make up stuff. Keep things consistent. I can see the whole like bending anti-bending war, and just to say what I was going on before, Long Fang he starts like kind of like a whole anti-bending thing because the Avatar is a curse on the world, and he was the one who was responsible for the war in the first place. You're not stopping it. So like he and all benders are abominations to the world, and those who are do not try and play like gods are the ones that are superior to all. If they did something like that, even though he is an earthbender, if they did something like that, that makes much more sense, and it wouldn't completely ruin the series. It'd actually give a decent plot. And if they showed like if they showed Sokka, like they showed like a non-bender who's fighting on the side of benders like Sokka or Suki, like someone like that, or May. They show like a non-bender in the series helping the new Avatar. That makes so much sense. It would not destroy the series, and it explains so much. I know I'm being kind of like off and on different topics, but I feel I should try and cover as much as I can. Um, yeah, it would make much more sense to me and to everyone. Um, Another big thing, I believe it was announced at Comic-Con. Uh, what slipped my mind? Oh well. Yeah. So basically, that's a big name and thing. That's my personal opinion on just overall things. Yeah. I'm gonna try and get back to the anime thing. Um, you have a huge stake, like I said before, in losing a lot of good customers. A lot of like just overall material. Like you don't understand like how it's not big, but it's like losing like 10% of your customers, like right there. I mean, like in the movie industry, it's a huge big deal. It's a huge deal. Um, the Dragon Ball Z movies that came out like a year ago, Speed Racer, um, just to name a few. I mean, those are and like all the Naruto movies that come out in Japan, in America, and the Bleach movies, those are big deals. People who buy the DVDs they have a huge stake in them. I mean, Naruto, even though the series kind of doesn't make sense anymore, but it's still interesting to follow. They give like if anything, Naruto is great at plot twists. I mean, they can like another thing I have to applaud, even though they contradict themselves, but they keep the original events and explain things that make sense. For example, like in the current arc with the controlling of the nine-tailed fox, um, what they explained is how Toby, who is I'm saying Mura Uchiha. I'm not gonna intend to pronounce his first name. I'm just gonna call him Toby. Who threatened to kill Naruto, and the fourth Hokage, who sacrificed his life to save Naruto's mother and him. I mean, the way they explained it was great, and they showed like in the Naruto, the Uzumaki clan thing, I saw that coming a mile away. I saw that coming. I don't like anyone who didn't see like Naruto having his own clan. It just did not follow the series. I saw that coming. It was a matter of time before they just announced it. But the way that they explained it, a lot of the sealing techniques about like how the nine-tailed fox, why it was so dangerous for um, Naruto's mother, they explained that really well. During childbirth, apparently, like the seal weakens, and if you kind of think about it, if chakra helps like the body overall functions, and during the intense pain of childbirth, chakra might be like redistributed to numb the pain, and chakra like that usually tried to keep the seal in bay, or like the nine-tailed fox chakra that mixed in with like the closest chakra, going up and overboard. I mean, they could explain that in a way that makes sense, logically makes sense with the series. So, yeah, and I'm gonna end with Naruto for now. Bleach, another big name anime, which again, it's kind of like